Hello everyone, let me get myself sorted. How you all doing? I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn, guys. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing good. Thank you so much for joining me today on this Thursday morning, guys. Thank you so much, you great people. Guys, before I start, you know the drill. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And also, please don't forget to smash a like on the video. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Now, let's go into it. Remember a week ago, Jadon Sancho was wanted by AS Roma. AS Roma put a 20 million fee down on the table for Mr. Jadon Sancho. But Jadon Sancho rejected the opportunity to sign for AS Roma. Now, what's occurring right now is Manchester United might, instead of a permanent deal to Roma, there might be an opportunity for Man United to do a swap deal with Roma in regards to sending Jadon Sancho to Roma on loan and Roma give us Manu Kone, guys. Wow. I mean, if that happened, that'd be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it, at the end of the day? But it would include a fee. So Man United are in a little bit of a predicament, should I say, in regards to where they stand with Jadon Sancho and how they're going to make money from Jadon Sancho, how they're going to get players through the door for Jadon Sancho. But Roma are willing to loan Jadon Sancho rather than spending money on a permanent fee, and in turn are willing to give Manchester United Manu Kone. Now, Manchester United are very interested in Manu Kone. He was mentioned on the stream a number of times over this last few weeks. And Manchester United have not been really in for him completely, you know. And I would say that now they are looking at Manu Kone and looking at avenues and ways they can get Manu Kone, basically enticing Roma by giving him Sancho on loan for nothing and basically selling him to Manchester United for basically a cheaper price, or loaning him to Manchester United with an obligation to buy in swap deal with Jadon Sancho. So it's kind of a swap deal, but Man United are weaving ways in which to do a deal like this and bring in someone like Manu Kone to the football club using Jadon Sancho. Now, in an ideal world, that'd be absolutely fantastic. That'd be amazing. That'd be perfect. But it is all down to Jadon Sancho at the end of the day. As we know, Jadon Sancho is a headache. He's a headache, and we know that Jadon Sancho, he's a bit petulant, he's spiteful, he wants to get his revenge and all that rubbish, you know, and that's what he wants. And, you know, it does all boil down to him. Jadon Sancho didn't want a permanent move to Roma, but a loan deal might be enticing for him. Going to Italy on loan, guys, wouldn't be a bad move, you know, and in turn, Man United get Manu Kone in the door. Now, how likely on the likely meter do I think this is going to happen? Now, look, Man United are getting into the business end of the transfer window, which basically means we've got 10 days and counting left until this window finishes, guys. Nothing going on at the moment that we know of. That has been publicly announced. We don't know. There might be something behind the scenes. There might be something going on. But you know what? It is getting a little bit precarious. It is getting a little bit worrying now for us Man United fans. What are we going to do? You know, everything every day is coming out with a different story. We need to know what's going on with Man United, who we're going to sign. Now, a Manu Kone is the type of signing that Man United need. It's the type of signing that will boost our midfield, of course, an absolutely brilliant player. And when you look at Manu Kone in general, guys, you look at him and you look at he is of course a 24-year-old, so he's reaching his peak. Contract expires in 2029. Has got 8 caps for France, so he is a capable central midfielder for Manchester United, and I do think he will be a great signing for Man United. His market value is around 40 million, of course, and yeah, not too bad. So maybe, just maybe, Man United can give Roma Jadon Sancho for nothing, and maybe we can get Manu Kone at a relatively discount rate in kind of like a swap kind of deal, basically, and a deal that, you know what, would benefit both parties, to be honest with you. Absolutely. He can play as an attacking midfielder. He can play as a defensive midfielder. He can play as a central midfielder. No brainer. Very good player, of course, guys. Let me know what you think. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Hope you're good. Guys, look, what I would say in regards to everything, it's been a bit of a nightmare window. A lot of people were telling me, oh, it hasn't been a failure. It hasn't. Look, right now, I cannot judge right now, but the way things are going, if the window ended right now, we know as well as you know that this is a failure of a window. This window is a failure, and we have to admit that if we do not bring anyone else in. There's lots of rumors going around, of course. There's lots of rumors. And as I said, you snooze, you lose in football. Adam Wharton, wanted by Real Madrid, is another one, that I mentioned on the show. And one of them that I mentioned on the show a week ago, guys, and now has just been reported by Fabrizio Romano this morning, is Rasmus Højlund. Napoli are interested in Rasmus Højlund, as I spoke about a week ago, guys. Napoli are interested in Rasmus Højlund, and because Napoli have Romelu Lukaku injured for 3 months. So they're looking to buy a striker. Rasmus Højlund is one of those players. But again, Rasmus Højlund is kind of indecisive. He doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay at Man United. My goodness me. Everyone wants to stay at Man United. No one wants to leave Man United. And this is what really makes me feel a bit disillusioned by, players these days. Players these days are happy to sit down, do nothing, earn money, and just basically run down their contracts. I mean, what kind of world do we live in now? These guys, they do not know how lucky they are. They do not know how lucky they are to be playing football for a living. Earning a minimum of 100 grand a week. 100 grand a week. You know how much the average person takes, how many years it takes for the average person to earn 100 grand a week? My dad bought a house for 50 grand in East London back in 1990, something like that. And it took him 20 years to pay that. Now, you tell me about 100 grand a week. You tell me about 100 grand a week. This is what I'm talking about. Exactly. They don't know how lucky they are, let alone 300 grand a week. These guys are rich too soon. They get too much money too soon. They haven't proven anything before they get rich. They haven't proven anything. And this is what happens, isn't it? We get spoiled, petulant little children. Let me go into some of your comments, guys. Really appreciate everyone in guys, big up everyone. Big up everyone, guys. Big up Eze going to Arsenal. Another player going to Arsenal. Big up, my friend Kenny. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, Eze going to Arsenal, of course. Another one, guys. Another one going to Arsenal. Another signing for Arsenal. Going to improve our rivals again. Man United are just snoozing and losing at the moment. Look, guys, I understand. About the situation with the players. I understand that the players don't want to leave. I understand they're digging their heels in. I get that. But the thing is, you chose this vanity project and got in the way of a full sale. You chose this. They got in the way of it. No one else, guys. They chose this. They knew this before they came to the football club. They knew that Man United had problems with players before they came to this football club, and players won't leave. Players are dictating what Manchester United do, which should never be allowed. Garnacho, I want Chelsea. Anthony, I want Batiste. This should never be allowed at a club like Manchester United. They'd just be, oh, yeah? Oh, really? All right, then get lost at the football club. That's how it should be, and that's what Man United need. Drastically needed, desperately needed, something like that to happen. Absolutely. Big up, everyone. Kenny, Manu Kona, yeah, big up. Randall. Morning, Sal. 2 more. We hope so, mate. And we've got 10 days to do it. We haven't got long to do it, Randall. We haven't got long to do it. Absolutely. Rasmus Højlund want him to leave straight away. 7 million loan or 35 million buyout. Mention Napoli for the first time, guys. Good morning, Lucky Singh, by the way. It's good to say good morning. Good morning, Stephen. How you doing, George? Stephen, I hope you're doing well. Hope you're well. I was raised on being polite. I don't know about you, raised in a village or something. Good morning from the Salema Marina. Good to see you, Sanjay. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you again. Kenny, Højlund to Napoli would be a brilliant opportunity. It would be a brilliant opportunity. But, guys, listen, give Stretford Post the corn, man. Give them the corn. How many times have I mentioned Napoli this week? Tell me. How many times? And no one's going, oh, it's mentioned by Stretford Post. It's mentioned by Fabrizio Romano this morning. I told you guys, Napoli, Romelu Lukaku's out for 3 months. There we are, guys. And they're looking for a new striker. Absolutely. Corco, what's going on, my friend? Good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. No more effing around. Ciao. Big up, Chow. How you doing, my friend? Arteta has been back for the AFC the last 5 years. The last time United manager was backed by the ball. Eric Ten Hag weren't even... I would say Eric Ten Hag was backed more than Ruben Amorim, but he wasn't backed like Arteta was. He wasn't backed like, Arteta spent $1 billion, guys. And we're looking at that. How many in 5 years? My goodness me, he's an absolute, fraud at the end of the day. If he doesn't win anything, he has to start winning things, that Arteta. But what I would say, Ruben Amorim at this moment in time, Chow, has not been backed. He has not been backed. If the window closed right now, he has not been backed. Now, guys, I want to ask you the question, right? I want to ask you the question. If no other Premier League team signed a player and Man United signed these three players in Bumo, Cunha and Sesko, do you think Man United are going to catch up with Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City? Do you think they're going to do that? Even if those teams didn't sign anyone, what do you think? Did you think, at the end of the day, even if we sign 3 players and those teams sign nobody, we're not catching up. But they're signing players. They're getting better. Arsenal signing Madueke. They've got Eze. They've got Subamendi. They've got Gyökeres. And they came way ahead of us. Way ahead of us. Do you know what I mean? It's disgraceful. Liverpool, again, came way ahead of us. And they're signing players. Chelsea signing players. Signing another player from Brighton today. Brighton must not like us or something because, you know what, at the end of the day, we're embarrassing ourselves, to be honest with you. But you know what? Brighton are definitely not going to sell Baleba now. They've just sold Naciso, of course. So there you go. Cornish Militia, good morning. Looking at the stats of goalkeepers, Donnarumma is way behind Sonny Lamens. Yes, because he plays in a much more competitive environment, Melissa. He plays in the Champions League. He plays in France. He doesn't play in Belgium. It's a bit different in regards to when you're comparing someone who plays in the Belgium league. Sonny Lamens, as I said, before anyone else was saying, I mentioned Sonny Lamens in 2024. I saw Sonny Lamens' prospect. I saw his talent way back when. Now, he's in the top 1% of goalkeepers in Europe. Now, you have to take that with a pinch of salt. I know you do because he plays in Belgium. Doesn't play against any other big teams. Right, so he's playing against he's playing for Antwerp at the moment, and he's playing the likes of Club Brugge, teams like that. It's his hardest game, and Westerlo and teams like that. It doesn't really compare to the likes of PSG goalkeeper Donnarumma playing against Real Madrid and Chelsea and Liverpool in the Champions League. It doesn't really fare like that, is it? At the end of the day, and also when you look at it, you look at PSG, a very attacking side, but I like to look at the facts. Let's look at the real facts here. Donnarumma, European Championship with Italy, won him single-handedly. I would argue that he was a big part of PSG's Champions League win as well, This win has been a failure as it stands, Kenny. It's been an absolute failure. We cannot sugarcoat it any other way. We're not Willy Wonka. We can't sugarcoat things as much as we would love to, and I love sugar. But what I would say is this, right? If it ended right now, it would be a monumental error, a monumental failure. Not just a failure, a monumental failure. And there are going to be people going, look, they tried, but they couldn't. They tried, but they couldn't. European football, this, that. And they're going to make all excuses under the sun for them. They're going to be, living up their backside and not admitting that they were wrong. You see, and this is the thing. When are people going to admit that they were wrong? When are people going to admit that they were the ones who backed Ineos? And they were the ones who were wrong about Jim Ratcliffe and stuff like that. Absolutely. Done dusted. Big up, Sal. The way this window has been going, how likely will a swap deal happen? Look, I would say done and dusted. In my lifetime, I don't really see moves like this. The only move I saw like this was Mkhitaryan and Sanchez, which was quite late. So notoriously, it is a little bit unlikely. Although there is a way that Man United can do something like this quickly if they act now. In my opinion, I think that if Man United wanted, obviously, Kone, it's going to be down to Jadon Sancho. If Jadon Sancho wants to go to Roma on loan. What I would say is that Jadon Sancho is a bit petulant and he'll probably say no, just purely to the fact to spite Manchester United, and make us lose money. Jadon Sancho's quite happy to sit on his backside and, live off a wage and wait until his contract expires in the year. Now, look, you look at that and you realize that these players, these mercenaries, they're not even players. I won't even call them that. These mercenaries, right, who know that they know that there's a World Cup at the end of the year. They know there's still a possibility that they might get into the World Cup. What's going on here, guys? We need to be very careful about football because this is killing football. This will kill football, guys. When players have the power, when players don't care about football, they only care about the Skrilla, that is when we've got a problem. That is when football's going to go down in the pits. Because right now, there's more and more players coming up who are like, I make the choice. It's up to me. I make the choice. Do you know what I mean? And this is the thing. Guys, this needs to stop. There needs to be a cap on wages at a certain age. There needs to be a earn as you play, a earn as you achieve things sort of thing that initially is put in place when footballers just break through the system. Because at this rate, guys, the talent scope of football is going to decrease. It's going to decrease because more and more footballers are going to think, I'm rich already. Don't really need to go in for that tackle. Don't really need to go in for that dangerous header. I'm going to just sit back and earn my money because I'm buying a Porsche at the end of the week. And that's basically what it is. And this should not be allowed at 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. Even less than that. It's a disgrace. Players, as soon as they sign a big contract, they get a signing on fee, guys. A signing on fee. Right? And as I said, guys, the average person earns £30,000 a year in England. Less. After tax, if they're lucky, they're taking home about 20,000 after tax a year. These guys are getting £100,000 for just putting pen to paper and signing a contract before they've even played a football match. You know? Now, guys, in regards to obviously the goalkeeper position, Man United are interested in a goalie. As we know, Seny Lamens and Donnarumma are rife. We heard the news yesterday that Jan Agafjordov, ex-Swindon player and currently on German TV, talking about Donnarumma, saying that it is not over. Apparently, he has sources within the Donnarumma camp that Donnarumma, wants to come to Manchester United. It has gone a little bit quiet in regards to Manchester City, of course. We haven't heard anything since it broke out last week that Manchester City want Donnarumma. Of course, maybe they're waiting for Edison to leave to go to Galatasaray. They're the only teams in for Edison at the moment. But there is obviously a big thing going on with Donnarumma, Manchester United and Man City in a little merry-go-round. Now, look, I don't know how much to take from Jan Agafjordov, guys. I mean, he has got things right. He got the Sesko thing right. Of course, that was German football, though. But what I would say in regards to that is that you never know what's going to happen in football. But right now, as time goes on, we got 10 days until the transfer window ends. And look, nothing is going on at the moment. And we're a little bit worried about that. Now, look, I don't want to be hearing anything by the 1st of September. I don't want to be anyone hearing about Ineos. Because Ineos took it upon themselves to reject a $100 million offer from Saudi Arabia for Bruno. Bruno would have left if Manchester United said, look, we've had a $100 million offer. We're thinking of accepting it. I don't want to be hearing any news about we ain't got no money because they goddamn have got money. And this is exactly what I've been talking about and about these overly giddy fans who support, I call them fans of Ineos, who support Ineos blindly. And they support Ineos blindly by backing them and saying that we were wrong, but before the transfer window even finished. Madness. Big up done and dusted. Kenny, if a club like Roma or other clubs offers 300k, Sancho would accept that. And no one's going to offer him that, Kenny, absolutely. And this is the thing. This is why he's a mercenary. No one's going to offer £77,000. The thing is, though, Man United may be pushed into a corner. And the only option that Man United might be able to do is a loan deal. And why will it be a loan deal? Because Sancho would want to run down his contract. He knows that he's in line to earn a big packet from another football club at the end of the year. So when you're looking at things realistically from a mercenary point of view, you're looking at Jadon Sancho and you're thinking, why would he go permanently to another club right now? Why would he do that? When he's got a chance to go to another football club and on a Bosman, on the end of his contract, and actually get a big bunch of money in the kitty. Why would he go to another football club? So his best option right now, Jadon Sancho, is a loan deal, right, to keep his valuation high. So he has a loan deal to keep his valuation high. And at the end of that loan deal, he can go somewhere else and his valuation will still be at a peak. because he played for a Roma or something like that and did well. He can go to another club who'll be willing to spend the money, i.e. like he did with Chelsea, and get a big bunch of money. And I think that has been the plan all along. I think that has been the plan with Jadon Sancho all along for a long time now. Melissa, the funny thing about this window has been a failure or not is that at the end of the season, if we said we signed 3 players, we signed, the most would be said it's impossible. Yes, they would have said it's impossible, but also the smart people of Man United fan base would have said, what about the midfield and the goalkeeper straight after that? That's what would have happened. They have failed. They have failed. They started well. In Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko, great signings. Don't get me wrong. But they're not going to elevate Man United. As I said earlier in the channel, guys, just because they're a certain narrative, people are going to back them. Do you know what I mean? And people are going to get behind them, you know, for no reason. Mank, born and bred, all that crap when he's a Chelsea fan. You know, and at the end of the day, I'm not going to blow smoke at their backside until the 1st of September. If they get some players in, let's say they get 2 players in, and even 2 players isn't enough, right? But if they get 2 players in and they're late, and if they get 2 players in, I would say, well done. They did it right. I'm content. I'm content with that. Right now, if someone told me at the end of last season, we signed Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko, absolutely, I'd be like, wow, really? Don't lie. Stop talking crap. But the next question would be, what about the midfield? What about the goalkeeper? No, we didn't get a goalkeeper and we didn't get midfield. That's the catch. What? It would have been like that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Big up, Melissa. Absolutely good to see you. Simon, good to see you, mate. Hope you're doing well. If you think the window is a failure because we signed no one else, you're crazy. It's not a failure, not a chance. The window's closed on the September 1st, so we can still put the players we want out then. I don't care about that. I care about players coming in as well, mate. It has been a failure, Simon. I'm sorry to say it's been a failure. Man United came 15th last season. Liverpool have spent 400, 500 million. Man City the same. Arsenal about to sign Eze. It's been a failure, mate. Manchester United have not fixed the midfield. They've not fixed the goalkeeper. That's 2 positions that we desperately needed, and we've not fixed it. It is a failure. They are late. It is a failure. It is a failure. Forget about the British team, mate, Simon. I'm British. Forget about that, mate. Forget about the IC1 team, all right? Forget about that, all right? I'm talking about on a level of Manchester United, right? They have failed so far. If the window ended right now, they failed. Even if they get rid of Sancho, Garnacho, Anthony, it's failed because they didn't bring anyone else in. You know? What's that going to do for us? We got rid of the players. Great. You know, we're going to keep them in the reserves anyway. Great. What have we got, though? You know? And that's the thing at the end of the day. Big up, man. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hello. How you doing, Kai Hansen? Big up yourself. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Chandiga. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good morning, Tommy. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Guys, by the way, I still don't want Arsenal to win the league. They're not going to win the league, I don't think, in my opinion. They're not going to win the league. Absolutely not. Big up, Stanley Matthews. Hope you're doing well. It's a failure, mate. It's a big failure. It's a failure. And I know why you're backing them. And I know why you're backing them. Right? And listen, look, it's been a failure so far. If the window ended right now, it's been a failure. I really don't get this notion that it hasn't been a failure, because it has been a failure. Chandiga, I hope you're well. Of course, hope you're well. Marky Mark, good morning. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Morning, Sal, and the community. How are you, my friend? Very good, brother. Hope you're doing well. Yes, United needs to get a move on with the signings. Completely agree with you, my friend. Thank you so much, Marky Mark. I'm glad you agree. I'm glad you agree. Thank you so much, my friend. Big up. Tammy, I know Manchester United are trying to get the bad eggs out first before signing new players, but we need squad depth. It's going to affect us, absolutely. Sorry, autocorrect meant signings, but yeah, no problem. I get you, Mark. Absolutely, I get you, mate. I get you 100%, absolutely. Good morning, Revert7. Good to see you. Revert7, Sancho is just collecting money, fair play, but he's no real sportsman. He has no real pride in his professional ways. Absolutely, very, very true, of course. Big up fan show. Hope you're doing well. Since Man City has not signed him, he is still available to any offer. Fan show. Can't we do 5 million loan obligation for $30 million rumor? I don't think PSG work like that, unfortunately. Fan show. I think PSG want the money up front. And we as we know with Ugarte, PSG are very good at digging their heels in, you know, at the end of the day. Tenzing, what's going on? Fair play and avoid Sancho-like situation. All clubs needs to work together for ceiling on player salary. Absolutely, mate. I agree with that. And that's exactly my point today. Big up, Amir. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Sancho was a true Chelsea fan. He turned down 180k in wages. Absolutely. He wants to go on loan. That's what he wants to do. He wants to go on loan. Absolutely. You know, Chandiga. Sancho and Anthony, they prefer money than playing football. They don't want to reduce their salary wages and why they're not accepting proposals from clubs coming in for them. But let me tell you something, guys. What would happen if we had Qatar? What would happen if Jim Ratcliffe didn't get in the way of Qatar? They would have paid off their contracts and got rid of them. All this crap and malarkey about, you know, this, that, oh, but Ineos this, Ineos that, making excuses for them. Accountability. They took the vanity project. Here we are. They can't get rid of players. Here we are. You know, and that what if it was Qatar, they would have got rid of them. Simple as. Marky Mark. Why we needed a full sale, but try to hold on to some hope, but try, yeah. Why we needed a full sale? Absolutely, Marky Mark. Exactly what I'm saying. It's not because of Qatar. It's not because of Apple. It's not because of Amazon. It's because we need things like this, little situations like this. We can't get rid of Sancho. We can't really get rid of Garnacho. We can't get rid of Anthony. They're holding us to ransom. They're taking the piss out of the football club. That's exactly what we're talking about a full sale. You know, the club is being dragged through the mud by mercenaries. You know, and this is the thing. And this wouldn't have happened if they weren't here. And if they just stood to the side and let a proper team with money get it, of course. My problem is I don't want to keep her that commands that fire to find a Pete Lemans or Porto will keep, it'll be fine by me. Why? You don't want the best goalkeeper in the world. You don't want to pay for the best goalkeeper in the world. We've lost Rashford in his wages. He's a good player. Absolutely. Good morning, Miles. You want to take a risk rather than Donnarumma. I want to know why you would do that just because of 300 fans. It's not coming out of your pocket, mate. Good morning, Sal. Hope you're well. Do you think any other big club would act like we do? It's always owners will be big up. No. No other big club acts like we do. No other big club in Europe would be acting like we do. We act like Stoke. Yeah? We're basically a wolf, a sheep dressed in wolf's clothing. That's what we are. A sheep dressed in wolf's clothing. That is what Man United are. A sheep dressed in wolf's clothing. Pretending. You know? Now, look, as I said, always look at things objectively. Always look at things purely because of facts, right? And I look at what we have right now, right? And I feel sorry for Ruben Amorim, right? I do. Now, I look at things what we have right now, right? And I say, look, they can fix it. They can fix it. We got until the 1st of September. The 1st of September obviously is a thing, so we can wait until the 1st of September. Let's wait and see what happens on the 1st of September. You know what I mean? And let's see what happens. They could prove me wrong. And if they prove me wrong, I'll be delighted. I'll be absolutely ecstatic because I know it's good for Manchester United. That's why. You know, I'm not backing them all, but they got 3 players in, but they got Mbumo, Cunha, and Sesko in, but. What about the midfield, the right wing back, the defense? Evans and Lindelof left, by the way. And what about the goalkeeper? What about him? What about the squad depth? What about getting your players in time before the start of the season? Look, by the time the 1st of September comes, we've already played 2 games. You know, 3 games. 3 games. We've already played 3 games by the time September the 1st comes. It's a disgrace. Big up, nothing will change at A7 as long as Glazer and Ineos are in charge. Both are here to make money from us fans. Absolutely. And the naive fall for it. The naive fall for it. Absolutely, the naive fall for it. You know, I want nothing more than Ineos to succeed. I want nothing more than them to succeed. I want nothing more than them to do well because that means that Manchester United have basically done well. But I don't see that's what they want. They're spending Man United's money willy-nilly, you know? Glazers and Ineos don't care about our club. Absolutely agree with that. AK7, absolutely spot on. We need 6 first-team experienced players, but yeah, exactly, mate. Big up AK7. LT, big up, my friend. How you doing, brother? Hope you want players in no sales. 1 loan is a failure. Attack, CM, and a goalkeeper is the minimum requirement, and we only address the attack. And game by game, we see how much we need a CM and goalkeeper. And already, guys, Ineos have cost us 3 points. Let me tell you that right now. Already, they cost us 3 points because we did not get a goalkeeper. They should have envisioned how smart they are that we needed a new goalkeeper. But no, they get rid of VTech. You know, they let VTech go on loan again. You know, they don't concentrate on the goalkeeper situation. You know, they know that we ain't got a goalkeeper. We probably got the worst goalkeepers in the league. We probably got that. Do you know what I mean? They know about that. It's ridiculous. Samuel, good morning. Manchester United should rip up Jadon Sancho's contract. And another thing, Samuel, this is exactly what we're talking about. They can't pay off his contract. If you rip up Jadon Sancho's contract, you're going to have to pay him $300,000 a week for 1 year. Man United are not willing to do that. Another reason why I falls out, of course. Good morning, my friend. How you doing? Ineos Wire asked loan for Martinez. Oh, they are disgrace. Offering 50 million plus 5 million in incentives for Baleba is an embarrassment. Guys, this is why we're not going to get Baleba next season. This is precisely why we will not get Baleba next season, because Brighton will not send him to us. They're going to send him to someone else. Trust me. Garnacho need the money we want, or else he's still having a big long contract with us. Chelsea cannot threaten us their evaluation because of that happened to Man United and Garnacho. The one thing I would say about Garnacho, big up Chandiga. The one thing I would say about Garnacho is that Garnacho can't be sold for undervalued, because if they sell him for undervaluation, if they sell him for the undervaluation, it makes Man United look weak now. Now, if Chelsea come out and offer 30 million and Man United accept it, how bad does that make us look? It makes us look terrible, doesn't it? Considering the likes of Tyler Dibbling are going for 40, 50 million, Madueke, 55 million, and things like that. Do you know what I mean? It's an embarrassment. And now that they put this 50 million, even that is a low price. But obviously, you think about the way that Garnacho has been going on this last few months, I'm not surprised. But 50 million, they put a price tag on him. If we don't get 50 million now, it makes us look weak. And this is what Chelsea are basically doing. Chelsea are waiting for the window to close, and then that is it. Do you know what I mean? APN, Sancho Roma deal still on sale, on loan, APN, on loan. And I'll tell you why it's going to be on loan, because Jadon Sancho does not want to sign for any football club because he wants to go on loan, because at the end of his loan spell, he's out of contract and he can sign for another team with a bunch of money. That's why. Sal, with the Glazers are here. Costa's not that good, man. I don't know why people are hyping up Costa. That's why he's going 20 minutes to Galatasaray. Sal, with Glazers on here, it will not work. It won't work with Ineos here. Big up. Ineos should have backed Ruben Amorim through billionaires. Absolutely, mate. Dave Riggy, if you don't like what I'm saying, mate, at the end of the day, there's plenty of other channels that can feed into your narrative. You know what I mean? Maybe bnp.com or something like that. I don't know, Dave. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe you can go listen to Tommy Robinson's stream. I don't know. Maybe do that. I don't know. You know what I mean? You could do that possibly. Maybe that might be good for you. I don't know, Dave. Maybe. I don't know, mate. You know what I mean, mate? You know what I mean, Dave? You know, Jim Ratcliffe, born bacon bread, Dave. You know what I mean? Absolutely. Jamie. Are we any closer to signing Stretford in a 2 key position with 10 days to go? At the moment, according to sources, no, we're not. We're not at the moment. And this is obviously a big concern. And to be honest, Jane, what I would say is that it has been a disaster, mate. It has been a disaster. I want nothing more than them to succeed. I told you, Jamie. I want nothing more than them to succeed, because if they succeed, it basically means that they succeeded for Manchester United. They've got half the job done. Not even that. You know what I mean? I would say. And there we go. Jamie, and if we don't beat Fulham, that's 6 points. I mean, we have to beat Fulham now. We left ourselves in a position, because we didn't fix the goalkeeper position, by the way, that we have to win now. We're putting pressure on ourselves now. And we have to go to Craven Cottage. And as we know over the last few years, Craven Cottage is not an easy place to go. Absolutely not. LT. The only thing I emphasize is that they inherited these player traders whose contracts made it difficult to remove, that they have no excuse in terms of incomings. Absolutely, LT. But LT, didn't they know that before they came in? And that's what I would say. Do you know what I mean? You can count on everything, the excuses they make. They did, that they knew everything before they came into this football club. Absolutely. Samuel, Ineos and the Glazers should be working full-time in the circus in the USA, dressed up as clowns and working with elephants and lions. Big up, Samuel. The poll's over. Sorry, mate, I've got to delete that poll. Big up, my friend, blah, blah. Big up, my friend. Hope you're well. Guys, English football should have fan ownership and let the fans have first say. Absolutely, mate. Fans, I mean, I would love to have the German model. I would love to have that. The German model, do you know what I mean? And have the 50%, 50 plus one, which basically means the fans own the football club. It'd be absolutely magnificent. But can we do that in England? I don't know. Man United have billions of fans around the world. You'd like to think that we could. Do you know what I mean? Faisal, good morning. How you doing? Spot on today. You are speaking with your heart. Thank you. I like to collect money without any effort. United can buy Lamens and Aguma at a better price. Ineos is a disgrace. Thank you, Faisal. I agree at the moment. Big up, Faisal. Thank you so much, mate. I do speak with my heart every single time. And not like other content creators, guys, who just splurt a load of crap just to get clicks. Never. We need to beat Fulham because City and Chelsea are next after Burnley. Exactly. Guys, I don't want to be the sound of doom and gloom here. I don't want to be that guy because I'm not that guy. And people know me last season. As soon as that game kicks off on a Saturday, Monday, Wednesday, or even a Friday evening or afternoon, I am backing Manchester United to the core. Right? And people know that if they come for the watch-alongs, they would know that when we play, I'm backing Man United to the core. But whilst the game is not playing, I'm here to give the facts, the birds and the bees. That's what I'm here to do. You know, I don't give a damn as a guy who's born in Leytonstone, East London, right? From a mixed race family, white and Asian. I've got Jewish, Muslim, and Christian in my family, right? I ain't in the mood for narratives that back Mr. Ineos and things like that just because of their Manc born and bred and they suit a certain narrative or color code. I'm not into that. I'm into Manchester United. We bleed red. Every single one of us. We bleed red. I hope, and I'm pushing for Ineos. I'm pushing for them to do something. If I am accepting, if I say right now to you guys, great. You know what? You know what? It's great. It's you know what? It's brilliant. They've done well. They've got 3 strikers in. They've got the attackers in. That's great. What will Ineos think? What would they think? Oh, these fans are fools, man. They won't say, man, oh, these fans are fools. They would accept anything, you know, sign a few players, and that's it. They're happy with that. Absolutely brilliant. They're happy with that. Sign a few players. They're happy with that. You know what I mean? And this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? And you have to hold them to accountability. You have to push them to the very, very limits, guys. You know? Ephraim. So it's concerning they do not know goalkeeper midfielders a must. They probably do, but don't want to do it. Big up Ephraim. LT, the removal of the bomb squad is very important, and that should not be swept under the carpet, and how important it is to be rebuild, and especially the culture of the club. But they're not doing that, LT, are they? Sal, the problem Ineos are not good in football. That is the problem. Yeah, they're not football people. They're not football people. We knew that from the time that they took charge of this vanity project, that they're not football people. And we have to admit that. That's a fact, guys. Do you know what I mean? They're cycling people, you know? And that's a fact. And yeah, there we go. Thank you so much, Marky Mark, you legend. Big up, Sal. Best shout out there. Sorry, guys, I'm very passionate. Big up, Marky Mark. I'm very passionate because I care about this football club. I'm not here to sugarcoat things. I'm here to speak the gospel. I'm here to speak the gospel, and I'm here to pull it on a proper level-headed kind of thing, right? I'm putting pressure on Ineos. I'm challenging Ineos to prove me wrong. I'm the one who's going to put my head on the block. I'm the one who's people are going to come to me and say, well, Sal, you owe them an apology, Sal. You know, that's what's going to happen. But I'm here to basically push them to the very limit. You know what I mean? So, in the Fulham match, are you prefer Sesko to Mount and Ahmed to Dalot starting? Absolutely, Emiski. Absolutely, 100%. If I was going to criticize Ruben Amorim, anything, it was that. I think we went too pedestrian at the weekend. I think we went careful. We went cautious. And I think that was wrong. That was the wrong thing to do. You know? Big up, my friend, Emiski. I'm just being realistic, guys. We need 6 points off both Burnley and Fulham. Yeah, it's a given. Look, we got Man City and Chelsea. We got Liverpool coming up as well. Let's not forget that. That is in our first 10 games, guys. It's ridiculous, isn't it? A mad fixture list. But what I would say is this, guys. I would say if we don't manage to beat Fulham and Burnley, get ready for a rocky ride this season, guys. A rocky ride. We have to beat Fulham and Burnley. Look, anything can change in football. We might draw against Fulham. And you know what? I'm not going to say that it's the end of the world. My goodness, because we can pick up points and we might surprise someone and beat Man City. Right? It might happen. We've done it last season. I believe in Man United. I believe in the crest of Man United that some reason, some divine inspiration will get us over the line. Somehow, by hook or by crook, you know, and I like to think that. But it certainly is in no way because of Ineos and because of them, you know. There are people out there that will back them no matter what because of obviously the reasons I've said, and you need to read in between the lines and just understand what I'm trying to say. I was raised and born in England. I was raised and born in the East End of London, right? And I know Wagwan, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I know what goes on. I know the mentality of certain people, you know, in my country. You know, so I know why he's getting backed. I know if Qatar were in charge of Manchester United right now, people will be crying, complaining, you know, making up stories, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, yeah, there'd be all sorts of stories being fed to the media and things like that. Do you know what I mean? Oh, only 3 players, only 3 players. Man United came 15th, only 3 players. We can imagine what they'd be saying on the airways, wouldn't we? At the end of the day, guys. He don't want to go to Roma. Mark, I do know what's going on, brother. He don't want to go to Roma permanently, mate. So I think that you need to reevaluate what you just said. He wants to go on loan to any club, so that at the end of the loan period, he can go to another club and get the full packet of money, you know? People don't... is Flickener still in delict? I think he is. I think he needs to be plucked out the pocket, definitely. Absolutely. Someone tell me is from Keres still did their his pocket. He is. Absolutely. Jevon, big up Jevon Pitt. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope Ineos are following your shows. These information should reach them ASAP. We are worried. Absolutely. And if I come on this show, Jevon, if I come on this show and I'm giddy and I'm overly zealous and I'm happy and I'm saying it's not a failure, they've done so well to get those players in. Oh, well done. Wait it go. Wait it go. You know, if I do that, guys, what they're going to do? The billionaires, I've worked with them. I've been in the music industry 20 years. I know how they think. They're going to look at you and say, peasants, they do anything. Throw them a bone, they'll go after it. Yes, that's what they do. Throw them a bone. Stretford Post, you need to collaborate with Goldbridge or something. Thank you so much, mate. I know Goldbridge very, very well, of course. Yeah, look, one day, if I'm here if he wants me. If he needs me, I'm here. He's got everything sorted out for himself. It's great. Best of luck to him. Fantastic fella. Know him well. 7 years I've known him. Good person. I would love to collaborate with him. Obviously, it's up to him if he wants to collaborate with me. I am obviously very raw sometimes the way I speak. I can be conservative. I can be calm. I can talk like this. And that's the difference, guys. I can be calm. I can be conservative. I can feed into the commercial media. Because, you know, Ineos, they've got such a hard time with all the players that they need to get rid of. You know, it's so hard for them getting rid of these players. You know, it's not their fault. LT, if Ineos don't back Amram with a CM and a goalkeeper, then I take it throwing him under the bus and taking him for a ride because they promised to back him, and people who know how Amram rebuilds know he's not been backed. Thank you so much, LT. If people know about ball and they know about what football Ruben Amram plays, right? If they know about that, you would know that basically he hasn't been backed because what he needs to play his system. He wants to go on loan because it invades my absolutely brother. Wants to invade money, not playing football. He's a money teacher. Sal, I wish we could rip up his contract. I wish we could as well, of course. It could reach him. It could reach Jim. Yeah, it would do, guys. It would do. Look, I'm going to push them to the very, very limit, guys. I'm going to push Ineos to the very, very limit. We've got 10 days of this window. I do not want snoozing and losing. I said at the end of last season, I wanted 6 or 7 players in, 6 or 7 players out. Right? So far, we've got 3 players in. And that was the very, very minimal for me. We were embarrassed, Man United fans, last season. We were embarrassed, guys. They embarrassed us, guys. Remember that. Don't forget what happened last season. Don't forget what happened. Don't forget what happened in the Europa League final. Don't forget how annoyed and embarrassed we were. All those people who traveled to Bilbao. Don't forget how embarrassed they were, how much money they spent, how disappointed they were that we didn't even breathe on their goal. A weakened Tottenham team, one of the weakest Tottenham teams in history. And we heard all the PR. We heard all the words from Jim Ratcliffe, from Ineos. Oh, we're prepared. We've been working on this for months. We're calm. You know, show us. Help us to help you. Me to give you a nice and a glowing reference. Help me. It's up to you at the end of the day. Because you're not giving me anything to feed off of. I am not a bloody prat. I don't come at it and believe everything I've heard. You know, and back everyone into a corner. I do not care if it was my own blood. I do not care. If they are wrong, they are wrong. I do not care. I would mention it. I would not back him up blindly. Even if it was my own blood, my mum, my dad, my auntie, my uncle, I don't care. I will talk the gospel and I will speak the truth. That's what I would do. And this is why I will always speak the truth. You know? Tammy, any players that don't move now should be sent to the under 21 team. What they should be done, they should be forced to train in alone. They should be brought to the game day, match day on a Saturday or Sunday or and whenever it is. They should be brought to the game day and they should be made to run up and down that touchline and not play. That's what they should be doing. And if they refuse to do that, they're committing gross misconduct. You know. Ephraim, Sal, we always neglect the positions, always how we close the gap with others. If we do that, absolutely. Absolutely. Corporate billionaire, shit bags. Big up Lee Davis. Agree. Absolutely. Viva saying you're honest, Sal. That's why more flack to your channel, more flock to your channel. That's why more and more flock. Thank you so much, Viva. So I have to speak the truth, mate. And I appreciate you, Viva 7, as one of the originals, mate. I have to speak the truth. I have to be honest, guys. You know, and I don't look on here to think, oh, I'm doing it so I get clicks. I'm doing it so I get subscribers. I'm doing it because I love my football club. That's why I'm doing it. You know, at the end of the day, I could just sit here and go, oh, it is what it is. It is what it is. And maybe more people flock to my channel. And maybe more people say, oh, yeah, you're right, Sal. You're right, Sal. Yeah, yeah. Nah, I will speak the gospel. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that's what I think, that every opinion should be the truth at the end of the day. And it shouldn't have a sinister meaning behind it either. Big up, Revat 7. We should be done by Exos without any new goalkeeper and a weak midfield at the moment. Proper worried. Big up, Jamie. Irfan, Man United is slow in the transfer market. No goalkeeper, no lack. Sunderland have 11 new players. 11 new players Sunderland have, by the way. And oh, look, by the way, Nottingham Forest signed one of our targets, Douglas Luiz, yesterday. How about that? Absolutely. Another one bites the dust, as we say. Ineos and the Glazers need to be held accountable. I agree. Absolutely. Guys. Under 18. Call no one, sir. I agree with that. I don't call anyone, sir. I don't believe in titles. I don't believe in that. I come from the East End of London, as I said, for the third time in exchange, funny enough. And they don't care. Sirs don't care about where I was raised in a council estate in East London. They don't give a damn about me. So I don't care about sirs. I don't care about, you know, all this stuff, all this malarkey. I've got a great grandmother as an OBE. You know that. It doesn't really bother me, you know. Big up, everyone. Yeah, Man United are aware of Seko Kone's injury. He's going to be wearing a face mask now. He's going to be wearing a face mask. So next time he plays, he'll be wearing face masks and things like that. Of course, guys. Look, guys, I don't want to come on the show, right, and talk about ownerships and talk about corporate people. Because when I was growing up supporting this great football club, I never even mentioned the ownership. I never mentioned anything. I didn't talk about it because we were run like a proper football club. So I didn't really care, you know. But this is obviously directly affecting our football club. And this is what I will say. This is why I will be passionate on the stream. I will call out blaggers, you know, at the end of the day. And I will give them, tell them about the birds and the bees and how sinister their support is. Because that's what it is. It's sinister. And I would say that in front of their face. It's sinister. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Guys, yeah. Yeah, but you know what? I hope you do enjoy the show, and this is what we do. Hold up, I got a message from my friend. He shouldn't be called Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He's a greenwasher and pollutes the world with chemicals, absolutely. But they don't believe that. They concentrate too much on Arabs, don't they? I've been to Qatar twice. Amazing place. I live in the Middle East. I live in the UAE. I'm born in London, England. I lived there 40 years, my life, right? And to be honest with you, I would tell it as it is. LT, let's not be fooled because Ineos don't have a good track record in football. And as much as we have football people in the club, I doubt if they are being backed to reshape the squad into being competitively. I agree with that. Absolutely. Look, one thing I would say, LT, I would say, I ideally hope that they prove me wrong. Ideally hope that they prove me wrong. Do you know what I mean? I hope that they prove me wrong. You know, and I hope that they sign a couple of players this week and we have a little bit of enthusiasm within the fan base and a little bit of excitement back in the fan base. And that's what I would say. Jim and Glazer's not good for Man United. It's slow FC. All the way they're good is agree with that. Sorry about I couldn't read the full thing. Big up yourself. Thank you, mate. Let me just read this. I'm just going to read this. Yes, guys, sorry about that. Yeah, let me carry on with these. I had to just send that message quickly. So it will be a long season if we do not fix the two positions. I agree with that. Facts and people complaining about Qatar sports washing. It's not half as bad as we're killing the air with smelly chemicals. Absolutely. And let me tell you how that affects elderly and stuff like that. It's a disgrace. Man United can't get at least 7 players in this window. It is an absolute disgrace, guys. If Sunderland could get 7 players through the window, why can't Man United? Ratcliffe is a rat. Jim Ratcliffe, original. Roland the rat. Hey, goodness me, if you know, you know. So Jim Ratcliffe originally wanted to buy Chelsea Football Club and now the season ticket at Stamford Bridge, but calls himself a Manchester United fan. I would urge people, and I will give you the facts, and I would tell this about every Man United fan as well. You're a Man United fan, right? You must have one picture that proves you're a Man United fan since when you were a child. Right? When you were a child. Now, I would urge Jim Ratcliffe right now, right? To post a picture of him in a Man United jersey, wearing a Man United scarf, have a Man United mug, anything to prove that he was a Man United fan way back when. Anything. In his 77 years, show me that he was a Man United fan. That's all I'm asking. He won't do it because he wasn't. Absolutely. Ten Hag should be made to sign the players. He spent Man United's money freely and also want out the players, but be paraded around Old Trafford in front of the fans before the game. Also, the want out players should be paraded. Wow, that would be cruel. That would be cruel. I also agree with you because I also agree because Amram is the right guy. Me too. I agree that he is the right guy. But our league is too competitive for him not to be backed. So and people forget exactly, LT. Look at these teams in the Premier League, guys. Look at Nottingham Forest's midfield now. Just Nottingham Forest. Just look at Nottingham Forest's midfield. This is how difficult the Premier League is. The Premier League is difficult. You need to be backed. We're shoehorning players into positions. You know, Sunderland signed Xhaka, Openda, more top players, and Leeds signed Emeka. Absolutely. No one said we're worth more than. Guys, can you correct this guy, Joy? I'm the one who backed Dorgu. I'm the one who backed Dorgu, you prat. I'm the one who backed him, Joy. I'm the one who backed, guys, in the stream. Jamie, tell him who backed Dorgu from the beginning. Mate, what I would tell you, my friend, Joy, you're not very joyous, but what I would say, mate, is that when you make comments, make sure you do your research. I was the one who announced the Dorgu signing. I was the first person to announce Dorgu in 2024 when people were telling me, he's just another unknown young player. Guys, make sure you're careful what you say to Stretford Post. Irfan, is Qatar come to Man United will fly the transfer? It will be better. Old school Notting Hill, mate. Absolutely. Big up, mate. You're old school Notting Hill, Lee. I haven't been Notting Hill in a while. Portobello Market, not far from there, of course. Been there a couple of times with the wifey, of course. But yeah, look, I mean, I like Notting Hill. I actually like Notting Hill, to be honest with you. Obviously, of course, Love Actually, wasn't it? Was it Love Actually? Was it Love Actually? I think it was. Was it? I can't remember. You say it best when you say nothing at all. Sunderland goalkeeper look class, absolutely. It's probably better than ours, of course. Sounds a bit crazy, but what if Sancho has a good season? I have a feeling him and Xerxes will do well. He's not going to be playing for Man United anymore. Beef Belly, bully, not anymore. He's not. Look, I will tell you, Beef Bully, you can take that out of your head. He's never going to play for Man United again. Sunderland is powerful. They're acting powerful. We're not. Sunderland signed 11 players. We're embarrassing. Absolutely. He did back Gorgu. I mean, people talk with their eyes shut, don't they? They're stabbing in the dark at the end of the day. It's ridiculous the way people go on. Sal battled Dorgo from day one. Thank you so much, Benny, you absolute legend. See how stupid you sound, Joy? You know what I mean? I got nothing but love for Dorgo. I think Dorgo's going to be a generation. I called him Roberto Carlos. I know that was a little bit far, but I did. Guys, I did call it Notting Hill. That's it, Revert. So thank you. I forgot it. It's one of my favorite films as well. Why did I forget one of my favorite films? It's this. It's when I'm talking so much, I forget. Guys, I do forget. Amdullah, big up my friend. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. I love this community too, of course, whether we agree or not. Manchester United back on the market. The clause that means the Glazers can now sell the latest position in Qatar's transatlantic ball. Let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so. Let's pray. I'm not jumping at anything. I know a lot of people when the process was going on were saying it's done, it's dusted. You know, Sunderland signed a whole new starting 11. Yeah. Sunderland will still go down. Same with Leeds. Now Sunderland will survive, mate. I think, Steve. I actually said, Step, that Xhaka would be one of the players of the season. Joy, what is his name? Comment is a typical of a new Man United supporter, not old school like us, the old devil. I mean, they don't talk. I mean, I don't mind, right, when you support Man United, right? But please do your research, man. Please. When I started supporting Man United way back in the late 80s, guys, before a lot of you were born, I took it upon myself because I met one of my best friends was from Salford. I'm from East London. I have no right to support this football club, right? And this is the thing. I do not acclaim. I learned that I shouldn't just say I'm a Man United supporter without learning our history. I learned our history. I watched videotapes. I learned about it. It was important to me. I learned about the Busby Babes. I learned about 68, 74. I learned about becoming a cup team. I learned about us under Ron Atkinson. I learned about us under Alex Ferguson. You know, and I learned a lot. You know, and I know the history of Man United from Newton Heath all the way to this very, very day. You know, I know how Old Trafford was bombed. I can do a whole show about that. I know about how we won the league in 1963. I know how, you know, I could do a whole show about these things. And the thing is that, you know, if you're going to listen to people, right, you have to listen to the right person. Of course you do. And there's a lot of people who don't listen to this channel, who come on this stream and say, you said that. And they're like, maybe your old guys in the other channels, you know, yeah, bruv, you know what I mean? He's a Portuguese fraud, bruv. You know what I mean, bruv? Them guys there, you know what I mean? Maybe you've been listening to them. You haven't realized that this is Stretford Post, right? This is a proper Man United fan channel. And we love this football club. And we want this football club to do well. We're controversial. We say it as it is. We don't sugarcoat anything. That's not what we do. But one thing I want, as everyone wants, is a successful football club. But big up, Dan, bro. Good to see you, mate. Hugh Grant, United fan. Julia Roberts. Hugh Grant's a Fulham fan, yeah. Met him at Fulham once when I went to see Man United against Fulham. When Ronaldo scored that last late goal, which contributed to us winning the league. And I can prove that as well if you want. You know, some people say they do this and do that. Don't prove that. Yeah, so what I would say is that, Julia Roberts loves Man United. Absolutely. And we love Julia Roberts. Absolutely. A manager who can see the same issues we see and the bold decisions he made in terms of removing the same players he has fans wanting removed shows he is the right guy, but people are blinded by system bullshit. Yes, absolutely, LT. And nothing gets by you, LT. Nothing gets by you. Absolutely spot on. People blaming systems don't really have the knowledge. They don't really have the insight because I've seen these systems played by very successful teams over the years. I have, and to be honest with you, I think that Man United is not the system at Man United. Really isn't. It is my all-time favorite show. I've got a lot of favorite films. One of my favorite films is I Am Legend with Will Smith. I love that film. Don't ask me why. I love Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. I love that film. One of my favorite films of all time. Notting Hill is very, very good. I like Bridget Jones. Guys, you may laugh at me, but I do. Got into it with my wife. She likes it. I like lots of films. I like my favorite film is Scarface, one of them. As well. Look, there's lots of films out there that I really love that I can watch over and over again. I love all the Jim Carrey movies. I really do. Joe is only young. He will make mistakes, but he is getting better. He's one of the best, mate. Kate Moss lives in Notting Hill. Yes, she does. It's a great place. I used to go there every day almost. Sunderland is not going down. Nah. They'll be qualifying for Europe. Mark my words. So I guess we say two more players. I see a rush for a CM and then possibly Emi Martinez. Let's hope so. Sunderland will lose 7 players to African nations. So we will lose about 4 or 5, won't we? Sal always backed players. Big up Ephraim. Thank you, mate. I always do, mate. I always do. I will criticize when I need to criticize, but I will back as well. Guys. V, big up. I'm surprised Ederinga was bought by Sunderland. What a kid. Will come good. Absolutely. Guys. You're feeding into the narrative. You call me stupid. I spoke facts right there, mate. You basically told a lie that I didn't back Dorgu, and then you're backtracking now saying that I called you stupid, which I didn't call you stupid. I called you get your facts straight, basically. That's what it is. Because stupid people assume things. You know what I mean? They assume things. Stupid people assume things. Stupid people walk into the dark, right, with a blindfold, and try to read a Harry Potter novel. That's what stupid people do. That's what you just did by walking into Stretford Post saying that I don't back Dorgu. Dorgu's one of my favourite players, you muppet. Absolutely. Lee, the United Trinity end off. Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. Sal, you're talking about Ransa Saeed. I'm saying nothing. All I would say is that streaming is very difficult and it's very hard to make cool. All right? But what I would say, guys, it's one of them. Right? Absolutely. In fairness, we can't just try any goalkeeper CM. We need to have the right character. I agree. We drive the mentality. No use signing players to find out they have no bad attitudes. Good point. Benny, very good point. It's not a problem for Sunderland. It's not going to win their appeal at 15th. Yep. But they will survive and they're signing players. They sell vinyl at Portobello. Yeah, I used to get vinyls from there. I was in the music industry, so I used to get them. Bridget Jones' Diary. I've seen all 3. Guilty charge. Me too. Don't lie, guys. You love it. You love it, don't you? Guys, I want to say thank you, everyone, for joining the stream. Really appreciate every single one of you. Passionate show as usual. The way we love it. Very strong. Very great points, guys. And now, look, we just have to wait and see, don't we? Guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. I've had over 200 in the house today. Should have at least 100 likes, guys. So come on, guys, smash the likes. Please don't forget to put your notifications on if I go live later on. And also, don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, guys. If you're new, subscribe. Have a good day, everyone. Big up Benny, big up Samuel, big up Ephraim, big up Jamie. Good to see you in the house again, of course. And big up everyone who joined the stream today, guys. Really, really appreciate it. Great chat. This is the realest place to be, which is Stretford Post, guys. Have a great day. I'm Sal Warner. This is Breaking Dawn, and I'll see you for Chatterbox later. Join me for that. It's going to be a big one. Take it easy. Peace.